Ouais, pote cruises. Ouais, mon ami, pote cruises. How are you? Welcome to the show. It's Friday night. Untethered Live. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. Have a voice. And it's Untethered Live on the chill stream. What's going on, everybody? How's the world treating you? What is happening where you're at? Why are you as happy as I am? Do you know? Do you feel it? Do you have it in your soul? Can you make it groan? I have no idea what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? Jake Johnson here. Good to see you. Amy, you're first in chat. You get the gold star. Amanda?
She's got the gold star. Hi, Amy.
I'll give her the damn gold star.
I did. It's in there.
All right, then. Gold star appropriated. Amy says, homecoming weekend at work. Fun, fun, fun. But the overtime tomorrow will be nice. Hi, y'all. Yes, it will. Hi. Hi, back at you. It's always good to get overtime. Catch up on some bills. Kick back and relax. I'm sleeping the day away. I don't know about you. Been a long week. Good week, but a long week. Soph is here. Hi, Soph.
Hi, Soph.
Soph says, I'm getting my hair colored on Saturday next week. What color should I get? One that doesn't have a U in it. Preferably like black. You should go jet black. Amy says Auburn. Auburn women have really bright hair. Something like that. Big John says, hi, everybody. I'm on my way. I'm waiting to catch a boat to France. My signal is not good. Heart. That's all right. Too sweet, John. Too sweet. Bonjour, John. Bon voyage, mon ami. Remine, plein de prostitutes.
Now English.
John says, I only know a little French. Basic. No prostitutes for me, but I got my blow-up doll and a punch repair kit. Yes. Right on, John. I hope you have a fair journey and the wind is ever in your favor. Big John Nugget, c'est bon frère. Moi non plus. Je te lis un traducteur pour te parler français. And here's your gold star, Amy. You deserve it.
How about English for the rest of us that don't speak French?
Oh, that was just for me and John.
Oh, fine then. I'll look it up later.
That was just for me and John. If you must know, the first one said, farewell, John. Safe travels, my friend. Bring home lots of prostitutes. And the second one said, no worries, my friend. I'm using a translator to speak to you in French anyway. How about that?
Cheater.
You know what the secret to power is?
What?
Knowledge. I don't have to know how to speak French. I just know how to get the message across. And I know, which means I'm powerful. Let that be a lesson to you. You don't always have to know a thing, but you have to know how to get a thing. That's what power is. Knowledge is power. Work smarter, not harder. And here's your gold star, Amy. I hope you enjoy it. Amanda says,
hi, Amy, Sofa Nugget. And hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week. Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Big John Nugget. I'm fantastic. I'm exhausted. I'm peaking. My mustache is tingling. I'm ready to go. And I figured out how to solve the Cracker Barrel peril.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I'm gonna send a letter to the people who are reforming the Cracker Barrel, and I'm gonna suggest that they hire Sydney Sweeney as their prop man, their spokesman, if you will, and have them film a commercial with her in a low cut halter top and ghetto booties from like the Dukes of Hazzard days, Daisy Dukes, is that what you call them?
Yes.
And it's gonna say, "This cracker has good barrels." Problem solved.
Yeah.
So, for the one company, she had good genes, and for this company, she'll have good barrels.
Yep.
I think it works.
But I seen a thing today that Cracker Barrel's lost $1.7 billion in revenue already, and they're not changing their signs. They're keeping them the way they were.
Congratulations.
I know, right?
They have spent $7 billion to stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
If you go woke, you go broke. It's as simple as that. Amanda says,
I got a nice hot cup of coffee, too. Yummy.
2. I never said I had a nice hot cup of coffee in the first place. I have a nice hot cup of coffee in the first place.
Well, you should have by now, usually.
Don't you want to have a cup with me? That's where you say, I do have a cup. I just told you that, dummy.
I do.
All right. Then you don't need to go to the kitchen and pour yourself one. But if anybody else wants to, they can. And if they don't have one, they can get one in the description below. Right down there. My face is on it. It's fantastic. But we also have stainless steel tumblers like this one. Big ones and little ones. And they have locking lids. And the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front. All the platforms on the back. They look great on a coffee table. Keep your coffee hot for hours. They are a very wise investment. Now, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love, if you want to throw a little clang-a-lang in my pocket, if you want to. You can do that right over there, or hit that Cash App, $JakeJohnsonband. I do appreciate that very much, if you can afford it. And one last thing, if you would like to hang out somewhere outside of this place, you know, during the week or whatever, during the day, you can do that over at facebook.com/UntetheredLiveChillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to hang out, share pictures, videos, texts, and chats, and get to know one another. And the ladies are killing it with the memes. It's hilarious. And I have a new thing over there once a week. I am adding a little bit more evidence to the thesis, everything is bullshit. Once a week, you can look forward to an entry over there to show you ever more how everything you think is a lie. And I've already been fact-checked. Fab Daddy hit me up. He threw an article at me and he said, Google knows. Well, I found that article. It was obscure, way back in the annals of some weird page that was full of clickbait, you know, 3 lines of text and then pictures, 3 lines of text and then pictures, that kind of thing, to get you to click on something. But I bothered to read the whole article. So the headline was that scientists know how eels reproduce. That was the headline. I'm paraphrasing. But if you read the article, you'll find out that they don't know. They know where, and they know when, and they know why. But they do not know how. So I remain correct. Sooner or later, you'll get tired of fact-checking me, Fab Daddy, and realize this old man knows a thing or two. You should probably have a notepad and listen when I talk. Take that. Big John says, salute, Talimon. Talimon. That is, hello, everybody. Aaron says, my spaceship has landed smoothly like I planned it. You all the best on the internet. And I caught you red-handed. Well, we are the best on the internet. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is having more fun than we are at this very moment across the world on the internet. I guarantee it. Amanda says.
LOL. Hello, Aaron.
What's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color? Purple.
What's your favorite word?
I won't answer that one. Next.
What is the capital of Assyria?
Assyria? I don't know.
What is your spaceship's name?
I don't know.
Amanda says.
You put me on the spot. I can't think that good.
Look at your screen.
Yes. Oh. What? Why can't I not see it? What's your spaceship's name? Sorry.
Welcome to the end of a thought process.
I was typing.
Aaron says, hello. 7 with the hearts. 2 hearts and 7 fingers. That sounds like a good time. Aaron says, my ship is called Other Ship. The other ship? The other ship. The other ship. I hear you. I don't know why, but I hear you. It seems like there's something there, but I'm not going to touch it.
LOL.
Aaron says, I harvest star farts. That sounds like a admiral profession. I expel them.
No, you don't. Not star farts. You don't remember the chat we had that night.
I do. Speaking of chats, mine just jumped.
Mine did too.
I found it, though. It's 8:27.
Thank you.
Rachel's here. She says, hello. And Amanda says,
Oh, Lord.
one more.
Hi, Rachel.
All right. Aaron says, my daughter drove today with me for the first time. She said, can I drive? And I pulled over and got in the passenger seat. That's trust right there, buddy.
That's terrifying.
How did she do? So Fallon says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it. Aaron says, she drove home all surprised. Passing the torch is tough. I'm proud, but sad. Yeah, I know what you feel. I missed that opportunity, but she's out there somewhere doing that very thing. Aaron says, Rachel, you made it. I'm glad. Me too. Amanda says,
LOL. Were you scared? Were you scared for your life, Aaron?
probably. Rachel says, not staying for long. I'm about to watch Chris Hansen. I hear you. You like that show, huh? Kind of gives me the willies. Soph says, I'm super excited because it's me and my boyfriend's anniversary on 22 September, 2 years. Congratulations. In September. You know it's August, right?
Almost September.
You might be a little ahead of yourself. Aaron says, 11 watch, need 11 likes. Yes, right. There's 14 people watching and only 5 likes. That math ain't mathing. Do you guys not like me or something? Hit that like button, everybody. Aaron says, well, at least you made it. You did make it. That's good. Talking to Rachel, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope that you're having a good night. And I hope Chris Hansen makes it all better. Dateline. Aaron says, I'm sorry you feel bad, Jake. I don't feel bad. But thank you. I mean, I'm tired. I don't feel bad. I'm happy. I attended Juilliard. I've seen The Exorcist 176 times, and it keeps getting funnier and funnier every single time I see it. What do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Certified.
Soph says, my hair is blue, pink, and purple. Okay. I used to have natural hair, but I just like having color in it. There you go, putting that U in there again. There's no U in the word color. And I mean, if you want to look like a My Little Pony, go ahead. Nobody's ever going to take you seriously like that, but if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. Amy says, I'm cleaning up catering. Qdoba. I don't know what Qdoba is. They let me make a to-go box. Well, that's always good. What kind of catering was it? Was it like fancy schmancy stuff where everything's that big with a little drizzle on it? Or was it like chicken, ribs? Is it like top tier stuff or good stuff? Aaron says, what's the regular color? Yeah, what is the natural color of your hair? That's what we want to know. Soph, it was black. You should go back to black. Back in black is a good thing. They wrote a song about it. Amy says, no ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕊𝕥𝕣𝕖. Especially if you're Spanish. Amanda says, you go, Amy. And Aaron says, black or red, I think. Red is acceptable. Not orange, red. Rachel says, I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, too. I'm going back to my natural auburn. Excellent. That's going to look beautiful. You have beautiful hair, Rachel. I've seen it in pictures. And Soph says, yeah. Aaron says, or black with red highlights. Yeah. Amy says, Proverbs 16:32 to King James reads, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit, he that ruleth his spirit is mightier than he that taketh a city. This verse highlights the superiority of self-control. It is a good role to live by. It's a ruler for what you could be. Unfortunately, not all of us are good at that. Me personally, I'm quick to anger, but it ain't real anger. Like real anger, it's almost impossible to make me really angry. If I get really angry, though, leave, because things are going to get broken. And self-control is gone at that point. But I don't get angry very often. I do get mad, though, like bitchy mad, quickly. You hit that right nerve, and I'm all over the place. I'll come unglued and rain all over you. Cloud up, rain all over the place. I know it's a character flaw, but that's what I am. Soph says, just all black, and then I had to wait for another year, and now I get my hair colored again with the U in it. Must be a British thing. Aaron says, you have nice hair, Rachel. And Rachel says, thank you. I am trying to make it better, LOL. Rich S is here. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Rich says, when it rains cats and dogs, you have to be careful not to step in a poodle.
Hi, Rich.
This is true. Soph says, are you feeling better, Amy? And Amy says, this verse, talking about Psalms up there, highlights the superiority of self-control over military might, suggesting that controlling one's emotions and temper is a greater achievement than conquering a city or being a powerful warrior. True. And the reason for that is because the inner self is the hardest thing to control from outside. It takes the most discipline. It takes the most knowledge. It takes the most patience to wrestle oneself into submission. Interesting. The word Israel means to wrestle with God. That's what that word transliterates to. And it's interesting that he almost created the whole situation to be that way. Because if you're not wrestling with it, if you're not struggling to understand it, you're not doing it right. That's the whole point, is to wrestle with it. Aaron says, good, Rachel. It's nice to do something for yourself. Yes, like a pedicure or manicure. Amy says, not really, Soph, but shh, don't tell anybody. Aaron says, reaches to feel Amy. She feels kind of warm. I think she's still sick. Amy says, lets Aaron feel her. Aw. I suspect that's probably the issue in a nutshell. Need a little feeling. A little feeling goes a long way. And Soph says, yep, I won't. Amanda says,
And just where were you feeling on there, Aaron? Some places might be hotter than others.
Dirty girl. Aaron says, I think I might step out today for a while. Where are you stepping out to, buddy? Where are you stepping out from? Here? Don't do that. I need you. Amy says, hotter and wetter. Good gracious, it's getting hot in here. I'm going to have to roll up my pants legs if I was wearing pants. Soph says, I hope you're feeling better soon, Amy. I hate being sick. Don't we all? Here's the link to the Facebook page if anybody wants to check it out. It is a cool place to be. Aaron says, Amanda, cover your eyes. Amanda says, that's right, Amy. And Rachel says, have a good night. Time for Chris Hansen. Good night, sweetheart. Sleep tight wherever you are. May God hold you in his arms until morning. Aaron says, I got no comeback for that, Amy. You took my breath away. Nice.
Night, Rachel.
Amy says, I don't see Fab Daddy. He's not here yet, I don't think. There he is. He just walked in. Soph says, how are you, Aaron? Fab Daddy says, the females lay eggs and the males fertilize. Yeah, you're missing the entire point. Yes, we know where it's done. We don't know how it's done. That there's no one that's ever observed it. You can say a thing all you want. That doesn't make it true. That's how they presume that it's done. You need to go reread that article and take your lefty glasses off and read the parts where they say, we think, we suppose, we assume, we guess. No one's ever actually observed it. And by the way, there was this guy who spent most of his life trying to figure this one out. He spent a decade dissecting and looking for sexual organs in eels. He finally gave up, threw his hands up, and said, I'm going back to my regular job. I'm done with this. That guy's name was Sigmund Freud. So he didn't figure it out. Aaron says, Rachel, Chris walks in as I run out. Joke. I love that show. And Amy says, black and yellow. The hair. I was thinking snake for some reason. Red and black, venom black and yellow, kill a fella. Aaron says, disco Soph. Fab Daddy says, I'm always watching. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Fab Daddy. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you today. Amanda says,
My chat jumped.
Take your breath away. Aaron? Aaron says, I'm going. Going where? Where are you going? When are you going? Why are you going? What are you going to? Who are you going with? I have so many questions. Sue Woods is here. She says, hello, everybody. Hey, Sue, darling. Hi, Susie Q. What's happening, Runaway Soup? Nice to see you. Amy says, there's Fab. Hi, Fab Daddy. Amanda says,
Hi, Fab.
and
Hi, Sue.
Sue says, sorry, I haven't been here. Hang on, my chat jumped.
Sorry I haven't been here in a while. Been busy. 8:44.
8:44. Aaron says, yep, she did. Jake wrote a song about it. Back in black. Hit the sack. Copyright. Amy says, liked, shared, and invited some friends. Yes, nice. Thank you, Amy. Fab Daddy says, I am trying to make simple bread again. Just waiting for the last rise before baking. Simple bread's easy. Flour, water, salt. That's it. And a little grease in a pan. Get it nice and hot. Dip the liquid in. Make it like pancake batter. Dip it in and let it full. But use self-rising. Don't use that all-purpose nonsense. And you'll get what us Southerners call hoe cake, which is simple bread. And it's delicious. Use lard. You can use vegetable oil, but I would prefer lard. Amy says, hi, Susie. Sue says, hi, Amy. Soph says, hey, Susie. Sue says, hey, Soph. Soph says, what's up, Susie? How are you doing today? Bill Bennett's here. He says, hello, Untethered Live fam. Good to see you all. Hey, Bill. Nice to see you, brother.
Hey, Bill.
Aaron says, driving. No, because I'm afraid she will be and trust her. I'm afraid she will be and I trust her. About the driving. Yeah, I got it. Well, she's young, but they're supposed to do that. They're supposed to learn how to drive and get out there. So it's good that you're allowing her to make that move. Sue says, I'm good. I've been working more, saving to go to England for Easter. How are you, Soph? That'd be fun. A little Easter England. Go to Stonehenge and eat some eggs. Whatever you do at Easter in England. Debbie's here. She says, hello, all. Hello, darling Debbie. Nice to see you. How are you this fine evening? Sue says, hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Aaron says, hugs, Debbie. And Aaron says, I mean, you said your voice hurts. Oh, yeah, I guess I did. I said I have half a voice. That's what I said. I do have half a voice, but I'm alive. All I can do is keep moving forward. And that's what I'm going to do. Ride this bitch till the wheels fall off. Never mind the mule, just load the wagon. Soph says, I'm good, Susie. I'm just chilling in bed. It's me and my boyfriend's anniversary coming up soon. I can't believe it. In a month. But congratulations. And Sue says, oh, I like unusually colored hair. Like fuchsia, turquoise, cyan, indigo, like that. That's unusually colored hair. Plaid, birch. Sue says, happy early anniversary, Soph. I think they call that a birthday, but Soph says, thanks. I'm going to the Michael Jackson the musical as well. Michael Jackson the musical. It was his birthday yesterday. Michael Jackson, the musical. I wonder what that's like. I've never heard of such a thing. And Bill Bennett says, back in black. That's right. Aaron says, LOL, my back has always been black. About the song. I don't think that's what it's talking about. Oh, a Qdoba is a Mexican grill, says Amy. Interesting. So that told me what I was asking about. Taco salad. A whole culture that made 1,000 meals out of 4 ingredients. That's using your head. Aaron says, Soph, I went to hear it. It was great. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. The Michael Jackson musical. That's not good. I wonder why. His music is awesome. I mean, you'd really have to try to screw that up. All you have to do is play Billie Jean and Thriller, and you're done. Have somebody dance that's vaguely close to Michael Jackson. Sue says, I had to call France recently. The country. What did it have to say? What did you have to say to France? I had to call France recently and was like, bonjour, parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous English? Excuse me. I got ahead of myself. And she said, bonjour, yes I do. How may I help you? You really don't need to know much French to get by in the tourist areas. Well, I know how to say prostitutes. Does that help?
You would.
Aaron says, but you might like it. I mean, I like Michael Jackson. I don't know why I wouldn't. It's amazing to me if they screwed it up. I mean, you would know if you got any kind of taste in music, you would know whether it's good or not. So, what was about it that made it not good?
He's probably just used to growing up on Michael Jackson.
So was I. That's why I would go to a musical about Michael Jackson. I wouldn't have any interest otherwise, but I can't imagine screwing that up. All of his music is awesome. If you just play his music, if you just played his music in a drum line, that would be entertaining. I just can't imagine that. Sue says, Soph, where at? And Soph says, in the city, Susie. Which city, Soph? Melbourne, question mark. Yeah, what city? I guess Melbourne. All right. Yes, Aaron. Aaron says, Soph. Amanda says,
Australia, Aaron?
that's where she is. Aaron says, see, I'm in the loop. I have friends in the show. Oh, okay. Howie Richardson, what's up, buddy? Welcome back. Howie says, hey, everybody, sorry I'm late. It's been an exhausting day. Going to Pittsburgh for a neurology appointment. How's your brain? Aaron says, that's a city there, Amanda. Yes, it is. And Amanda says,
Hey, Howie.
So Fallon says, yeah, Aaron. And Sue says, I just took a bath before getting on, so I can't take a bath during the show. Oh. Well, are you still naked? That counts. Amanda says, yes, Aaron. Howie says, hi, Amanda. How are you?
No, I'm good, Howie.
Tell us about your day.
I had a busy day today, actually. It's Friday. I tried to get everything done today.
Which was?
Wifey things. Dealing with the house, the dog, the animals.
Sounds like an interesting day.
It was. I even finally got a video of the dog playing on her lead, which was funny.
She's a spazzy dog.
She has way too much energy.
Yep. It doesn't help that I give her sweets.
Because she's a crackhead if you don't.
Aaron says, Amy gave me a new nickname. Yeah, what is it? And Amanda says,
The chat jump.
I think you answered it already.
Thanks for asking, Howie. I'm doing good.
Yep. Aaron says, nope, I'm saying like out to sit somewhere, Jake, but I'll be here. Okay. I thought you were talking about I'm out of here. And I was like, why? We just got started. I know I'm not that interesting, but come on, man. I'm working hard here. Soph says, I love taking a bath, Susie. It's so good. I love it when people take a bath while listening to me. You're getting clean, and I get to imagine you naked. It's the best of both worlds.
Wouldn't you like to know what I do listening to you?
I don't need to. I can look around the corner. Howie says, neurologist said, I'm not allowed to take a bath. I can only shower because of my seizures. Well, that's probably smart. You wouldn't want to drown. Although, if you're having seizures rapidly, like many of them at one time, you might fall if you're taking a shower and bang your head on the soap dispenser, and that wouldn't be good either. Maybe you should sit on a stool and bathe with a cloth.
Or sit in the tub with the shower on.
Either way, that kind of sucks, man. I'm sorry you got to go through that. Have you tried gummies? I hear they have some success with dealing with seizures. I would recommend, though, if you did, to think about it medicinally. You're not doing it to get high, so don't go and buy them from anybody. Go to an actual dealer in town, somebody you know that you can trust the product that they have. Maybe even go to the doctor and get a medical card if you haven't done so already, and try it a little bit, not the whole thing. Don't eat the whole thing. Trust me on that. A little pinch will do you. And see if it helps. It's worth a shot. It has helped other people. And I'm not just talking out of my butt. There's some settled science that it does have an effect on certain seizures. I don't know what yours are, but it might help. Soph says it's almost spring in Australia. Are the kangaroos out? See what I did there? Aaron says it's about to get hot here, or there. It's about to get hot here, too. And Soph says, Howie, do you have epilepsy? That's a good question. Sorry, my chat jumped. I can't wait for spring to come, says Soph. Yeah, because it's going to be nice and warm outside, and you'll be able to go out and, I don't know, what do you do in Australia? Hunt alligators?
Crocodile. They don't have alligators in Australia.
Howie says, I'm exhausted from the multiple-hour drive to Pittsburgh for neurology appointment and my back being thrown out. Every bump hurt. Well, those just make you know you're still alive. I know how that is, buddy. Amanda says most people are born with it, Soph. That's true that you can be born with epilepsy, but there is a number of people that have received head injuries and afterwards develop some form of epilepsy. So there's that too. And that's a large number of them. It's not half, but it's a good number of them. Aaron says, will you get me some sea glass, Soph? Sea glass. I'm not sure I know what that is. Does that have anything to do with a coral reef? Or is that where lightning strikes the beach? And Soph says, yeah. Aaron says, Florida has it, but it's hard to find. I'm guessing it's where lightning strikes the beach. Soph says, what are you doing today, Aaron? Watching a podcast, Soph. Howie says, Soph, yes, but I have my suspensions on my mom's ex. I have my suspicions about my mom's ex since my seizures didn't start and my mom got sick the same time my seizures started. I believe her ex tried to poison us. Oh, my God. That's horrible. I'm trying to think of what poison could cause seizures. Like recurring seizures. And I don't know the answer to that. If he tried to poison you, you should have him arrested. And maybe they could get to the bottom of what he did. Soph says, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear all that. I'm so sorry to hear all about this. Well, I mean, life is interesting for sure. Aaron says, I think I'm going to sit at a tea and eat some food and drink. That sounds like the kind of thing you would do in Florida. Amy says, hi, Howie, I'm glad you made it. And Soph says, have a cup of tea with some cake, Aaron. That will be yummy. Tea and cake. What kind of cake? Aaron says, but no alcohol. Sure, right. And Soph says, yep, I agree with you, Aaron. No alcohol. Amy says, I'm glad he's out of the house, Howie. Me too. How old are you, Howie? I'm just asking. Howie says, yeah, after I kicked him out, we ended up finding multiple empty bottles of Visine and empty drug bags in his hobby room. Oh, my gosh. So he was a pothead, huh? Aaron says, they have cake, but not the kind you mean. You stop looking at those waitresses, Aaron. I know what you're doing. Howie says, thanks, Amy. Kicking him out was my best decision. I agree, especially if you think he was poisoning you guys. Lucky you didn't brain him in the head with something. And Soph says, would you rather have jelly or chocolate? Neither. I would rather have Reese's oatmeal bars.
Reese's wafer bars.
Whatever they're called. They're like Rice Krispie treats. They're delicious, but they look like the granola bars. Remember the old granola bars? That's what they look like, but they're made out of Rice Krispies, and they got Reese's on the top and bottom, which is chocolate and peanut butter, and probably got some caramel on it or something like that. Something sweet, anyway, but they're delicious. If you haven't tried them, I suggest you go out immediately and find you a box. They sell them at the dollar store. It's a box of Reese's, and they're delicious. You eat the whole box, believe me. Aaron says, I want to dance, so I might. Man's in a dancing mood. Need to break out the Michael Jackson and get out there and break a leg. Aaron says, I'd rather have chocolate. And so says, I like both jelly and chocolate. What about chocolate jelly? Did I just blow your mind? Sue says, Billie Jean, you're not my love. Jimon. I wish I could sing. I used to could sing that song. What it is, what's up, buddy? He says, what the hell is the topic? Whatever you want it to be. It's Friday and I'm tired. You run the show. I'll sit back and listen. How you doing? What it is? Nice to see you. Amanda says, hi, what it is? You say it.
Hi, what it is.
Thank you. Amy says, Michael Jackson the musical. Hee hee. So says, I love Michael Jackson so much, Susie. Do you like Michael Jackson, Susie? So if you remind me of Elmira. You don't need to repeat yourself, though, hon. Well, what it is says, hello, Amanda and Big Egg at Untethered Live. Well, I am Untethered Live, so you just said hello to me twice. Hi. Aaron says, Jake, poor production, and they can't use the music for copyright. Oh, so it's versions of it played by a band, and it's not the music. I got you. Yeah, that sucks. I can see why you wouldn't like it. I was trying to figure out, I was playing it over my head. How could a Michael Jackson musical be bad? I mean, every song he played was great. I don't think he had a bad song. A couple of them were a little long-winded in his live show, but not bad. But now that makes perfect sense. They can't play the music, so they have to play similar music, but not Michael Jackson music. And the production is low quality. So, yeah. I hope they're not charging a lot for that. Big John says, over in France, the lady of the night have beards and hair hands. Hair hands? Hairy hands. Yeah, France has changed a lot. You should watch, I can't remember the name of it now. I want to say Midnight in Paris. I don't think that's it, though. It's got, I can't think of the guy's name either. You know, the guy that was in The Godfather. You went off and you couldn't refuse. What's his name?
Stallone?
No, not Stallone. Stallone wasn't in Godfather. The actor. He was also Superman's dad in the movie Superman.
I don't know.
Super popular guy. For some reason, his name just left my mind. Apparently, my brain isn't working.
Quit thinking about it. You'll remember. Marlon Brando?
Marlon Brando. Yeah. Marlon Brando. And I forgot what I was going to say. The Paris movie with Marlon Brando in it. I guess I need to look that up. Hang on a second, I'll tell you. Last Tango in Paris. That's the way it used to be in Paris. That's what I'm thinking about when I think of France. Last Tango in Paris. Go watch the scene with Marlon Brando. Amy says, he, and then moonwalks across the room. He.
Like Michael Jackson did it.
Yeah. What it is says, Rooster Poot, Arkansas. Is that a place? That doesn't surprise me. That sounds like Arkansas. Rooster Poot, Arkansas. What does a rooster poot sound like? Whoop, whoop. Soph says, how's things with you, Susie? Elmira. Aaron says, Amy, I saw that grab. You saw that grab? And she calls me Pony Boy, Jake. Oh, nice. It's kind of strange. Who broke Jake? I don't know, my chat jumped.
Your chat jumped a lot. 909.
I got it. Amy says, stay golden, Pony Boy. I used to say that to Howie, too. Competition already. Keep you honest. Aaron says, welcome, what the blank? What the blank? What it is says, Stay Gold by Stevie Wonder was the closing song on the movie The Outsiders. Nice. I like Stevie Wonder. I like his rendition of Superstitious. It's a good song. Aaron says, good fun fact. What the blank? I think he's giving you a little of your own medicine there, what it is. What it is says, they eat a few skippies. That's another term for kangaroos. Well, it is springtime there now, so the kangaroos are out. That's one of those jokes that's funnier in my head. Amy says, not ignoring messages. I'm trying to finish my work. Understood. You get your job done. That's what matters. Get that OT. And Amy says, yes, it was what it is. And Aaron says, Amy, be sure to drink water. Well, yeah, that would be weird to eat Mexican food and not drink any water. You would be very spicy. Amy says, thanks for getting the move reference. Definitely. What it is says, Kamala's Secret Service protection ends on the 1st of September for Trump. I can't believe she has Secret Service. She didn't do anything. People would be too embarrassed to hurt her.
She has Secret Service to keep her up when she's drunk.
Probably. Help her find her way home.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron says, I can moonwalk still. So can I. I know you couldn't imagine it, but I can do it. Sue says, I'm sitting outside spying on my neighbors doing home improvements. They took out the garage floor today. All right. What do you think they're going to put in its place? Another garage floor? Aaron says, that sounds cool, Sue. A little neighbors talking. Yes, he did. Amy says, Michael Jackson had a song called Bad. Yes, he did. You know I'm bad. I'm bad. Jam on it. Come on. Who? I used to know that song, too. Marlon Brando. Thank you, Big John. I couldn't think of that to save my life. But, yeah, Last Tango in Paris. That's what I'm thinking about when I think of Paris. What they're doing nowadays, not the same world I grew up in. If you watch that movie, you'll understand why I say that. The French girls were different when I was a kid. I guess the French girls are French guys now. Aaron says, John beat me to it. He's on it. Last Tango in Paris. That's the one. Sue says, who broke Jake? Oh, I have spells, Sue. It's all right. My hard drive is full, and sometimes I just go into the blue screen of death, and you know that little thing that starts spinning, the little wheel? Sometimes my brain does that. And I hadn't quite figured out a way to upgrade it yet. Aaron says, strength. Amy says, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. Is it Labor Day? Wow. I didn't even know that.
Monday is.
Yeah, that's how Labor Day works. And that's why it's Labor Day weekend. Amanda says,
As I did, Sue, I wore him out.
I am sleepy tired, but that's okay. Aaron says, Amy, also, Had one called PYT. Just saying. PYT? PYT. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. I miss Michael Jackson. It's a damn shame. But just like Elvis, I don't think they could get old. I think they left because they had to. Could you imagine old, fat Elvis? Long, about 20 years past the time anybody even cared who he was? Could you imagine him still in Vegas trying to make it? That ain't no way for a king to go out. Aaron says, Jake does the Michael Jackson crotch grab. I'm wearing the glove, too. Amanda says, yep, Labor Day weekend, and I'm doing no labor. Me either. I'm taking the weekend off. Sue says, it's been raining in Vegas. I sat outside in it last night. Yeah, in a warm climate, it's nice to do that. It is not nice to do that when it's frigid out. California, Florida, those are the kind of places you can sit out in the rain. You don't want to do that here. It's just wet and cold here. Aaron says, it's going to be nuts at my work. It's going to be nuts, my works. I don't know what you're talking about there. It's going to be nuts, my works. What are you talking about? A little context, please. Sue says, Labor Day just snuck up on us. It did me. I didn't even know it was Labor Day. I just been nose to the grindstone all week. And now it's over. What it is says, Jamie, pull that video up. Hold on, my chat jumped. Yeah, that happens a lot here, doesn't it? What it is. It's almost like I wrote it in the script. Aaron says, pretty young thing. Oh, PYT. Got it. I don't know if I've heard that one or not. Sue says, a sweet street sweeper going down my street. Big John says, I'm bad, jam on it, you know. I know about that, who's bad? You ever seen Weird Al's version of that? Quite funny. Aaron says, chim on, John, chim on, chim on. Aaron says, at my work. Sorry, typo. Yeah, that's what I thought you said, but it didn't read that, so I was unsure. It's going to be nuts at my work. Why? What's going on at your work? And Aaron says, I love Chris Tucker doing Michael Jackson in Rush Hour. That was funny. Yeah, he's good at it. You can tell he's done that before. Like, he probably started out as a Michael Jackson imitator, impersonator. What it is says, did you see the Mexican speaker, the Mexico senator, going to blows with the Speaker of the House? I did not. I haven't watched any TV today. I had to work all day. And I hadn't got to the news yet. I got a little 30-minute nap and dinner, and here I am working again. Because that's how Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday rolls for me. Work all day, come home, eat, get a little 30-minute nap, and get back up and go back to work. Then midnight rolls around, finally get to bed. Aaron says 1,300 people are coming all at once at your work. Wow. Sounds like it's going to be exciting. You got to get all your P's and Q's in order and make sure everything's working right. You don't want nobody hung out there in the middle of the line. What it is, tell us about it. What happened? Amy says, I'm working tomorrow, but I still get a weekend. Monday is a paid holiday. Right on. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably won't have any work Monday either, so I might have a 3-day weekend too. Of course, I'm going to work Monday because I got a stack of shirts that I'm not finished with. But he won't be there, I'm sure. Amy says, I have to give a friend an estimate on house cleaning Sunday. Good. Get that business started. What you should do is collect you about 5 clients and space them out through the month. That way you got a good rotation of spare work and extra income all through the month. That's what I'd do if I were you. 1 or 2 a week. Aaron says they are making a new Michael Myers. He's woke now like Superman. I hate it. Everything's going to be that way, buddy. And I hate it too. I'm a Star Trek fan. And I watched an episode of Strange New Worlds last night. It's the latest Star Trek that they've made. And it pure made me angry. I was yelling at the TV at how stupid it was. I can't see how any Star Trek fan could watch that show and not be upset about it. There's like they're trying to destroy it. Big John says, the sea is rough now. We had thunderstorms and rain all day. I hope I don't puke. Me too. I wouldn't get a seat next to the ledge. Try to sit somewhere where you can't see the motion, like in a corner or something. You can feel it, but you can't see it. Seeing it is 50% of what makes you sick. It messes with your equilibrium. It's making me sick just thinking about it. What it is why do some rich people have more money than sense? Well, you answered your own question right there, what it is. Because they're rich. Rich people don't have to think. They don't have to want. They don't have to scheme. They don't have to plan. They don't have to understand. They just throw money at it and it's solved. So they get in the habit of not doing those things, and before you know it, they're doing silly shit that doesn't have any common sense to it because they hadn't had any common sense since they've been rich. And Jake's throwing a fit yelling at the boob tube. Yep, I get angry about that Star Trek. Go watch it if you think I'm wrong. If you've ever enjoyed Star Trek, go watch the latest episode of Strange New Worlds and come back and tell me what you thought about it. Aaron says, I walked out of Superman. He had a super dog and was saving squirrels. And I was like, hell no. It wasn't a terrible movie, but it wasn't a great one either. They just, putting lipstick on a pig. They did it right in 79 when Christopher Reeves did it, or 80 or whenever it came out. 81, whatever it was. They did it right then, and they haven't made a movie since that compares to it. Patty's here. She says, I seen a new meme. How can country with trillions in debt give me a credit rating? Smart. Hey, Patty, how are you?
Hi, Patty.
Aaron says, Patty, good to see you. What it is says, bunch of horse doo-doo. Yes, it is. Patty says, Miss Amanda. And Sue says, they made Superman soft. They did. They made him soft and juvenile. And they made a movie that 50% of it was him getting his ass beat up. Why would you do that? It's like they don't understand why we like heroes. Even the suit was soft? Yeah. Aaron says, facts. And Patty says, I know, right? Or I kill raccoons. Patty. It's horrible. Yeah, and they made Lex Luthor basically an incel. Tech bro. I don't get it. On one hand, it was good because of the effects, and they added the Justice Gang. Mm-hmm. You know, Hawkman and the Green Lantern and Mr. Fabulous and all that. And that was good because if you're a comic book fan, you remember those characters. But the way they were treated were like they didn't know what they were doing. And Superman was not sure why he was Superman. That's not what anybody wants to see. Amy says there's 16 people watching and only 11 likes. Press that button, people. Please do. Hit that like button, everybody. Double tap if you have a phone. Aaron says he gave a whole stupid-ass Dr. Phil speech in the middle of getting beat up. I know, right? What it is says, my heroes have always been women in lingerie. Well, that would be a heroine. So you might be looking at that the wrong way. And my heroes have always been cowboys. Especially ones that play the Telecaster. And Amy says, Dr. Phil's speech, ha ha ha. Yeah, I didn't care much for, and I didn't care for his parents either. They really made them a laughingstock. Like they made them like white trash hillbilly types. That's not Mr. and Mrs. Kent. First of all, they're from Arkansas or somewhere in the Midwest. They're not Georgia Southerners like they were being played. And second of all, they're like the source of his nobility, Superman. I didn't get that from them at all. I got hillbilly white trash. What the hell is wrong with Hollywood? Amy says, Victoria is not so secret. Yeah, it's not a secret. Pretty sure I know what the secret is anyway. Sue says, like a rhinestone cowboy. Yeah. A midnight rodeo. I like my heroes have always been cowboys. What it is says, heroin is a bad choice. That doo-doo will kill you. It can. But heroin is just what they call the drug. The word means female hero. And Amy says, and Aaron says, I was yelling swing. Like, really? I was done. I didn't even eat my candy. Wow. Yeah, I understand. Superhero movies have jumped the shark as far as I'm concerned. If you don't know what that means, watch Happy Days. When the Fonz jumped the shark with his motorcycle on skis, or however he did it, I can't remember now. But that's the expression, meaning that the show has reached its limit. It has become unbelievable. And that's what superhero movies have become. They have become unbelievable, and every movie has to make $1 billion or is considered a failure. And some of the best movies I've ever seen have had $100 million budget. They don't need to make a $250 million movie to make $1 billion. They need to lower the budgets, lower the expectations, lower the stakes, and do character movies again. Big John says, gotta go. I can hardly see you all. Have a fantastic night. Much love. John, we love you, buddy. Enjoy your journey. May you have lots of fun and lots of adventure. See you next time, buddy. Get through that ride. We love you. Amy says, night nugget. And what it is says, H. Wood. Got too many burnt brain cells. Okay.
I think that's supposed to be heroin.
Heroin got too many burnt brain cells. I don't know. Amanda?
Night Nugget, be safe.
Amy says, I wouldn't wish addiction on anyone. Right on. Aaron says, the new Mike Myers has Jenna Ortega. I was like, really? Freaking Wednesday? Trash. I haven't seen any previews for it yet. But yeah, it'd be trash. I've heard that the Wednesday movie was pretty good, but I haven't seen it. It doesn't look like my kind of thing. What it is watch the movie The Road to Wellville. All right. Who's in it? What's it about? Oh, Hollywood. Hollywood's got too many burnt brain cells. That makes more sense. The Road to Wellville. Patty says, my heroes have always been cowboys. Right on. What it is, Aaron says, Amy, me either. Me neither. Yeah, addiction is bad for you. It's addictive. He says as he pounds coffee and smokes cigarettes. Look it up, Jake. I will. Why don't you just tell me what it's about and then I don't have to look it up because I'm in the middle of a podcast.
Hold on.
Jamie, pull that up. Aaron says, it wasn't bad, but it's for kids, Jake, about Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, I got the gist of it. I liked the original Addams Family TV show. I did not care for the movies that came out. There was a TV show called, it was the name of a bird. I can't remember now what it was. It's some kind of street. It's a street name named after a bird. But it was about the Addams Family in modern times. And then Jerry O'Connell was in it. It's very good. But it was one of those movies, it was one of those TV shows that didn't make it, so it aired for like 5 episodes and then disappeared. Maybe a season of it, and it was gone. Mockingbird, that's it, Mockingbird Lane. Thank you, what it is. That's actually a good show. I don't know why they didn't pick it up, or I don't know why it didn't survive, but it's very good. But what they did with it in the movies, and the modern movies are even worse. There's one version of it that's got that Spanish guy that was in Ghost playing the man. I can't think of his name either. My brain ain't working tonight. I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead. But that was terrible anyway. So I haven't seen anything they've done with the Addams Family that's actually good, except for that Mockingbird Lane. And if you get a chance to go watch that, I recommend you do. It's fun, but it won't last. I don't think it lasted very long at all. I suffer from more ism. What it is. I hear you. Aaron says, it wasn't. Oh, I read that one. Patty Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is a good cowboy hat wearing hero. Facts. The Man with No Face trilogies. The Man with No Name trilogies, rather. That's Fistful of Dollars, Unforgiven, and the other one. I can't think of it. Right turn, Clyde, says Amy. Ism Schism, says Aaron. Ism Schisms. Sue says, who is going to bed? Me, at some point. Amy says, I'm at work, Sue. I wish I could. What it is says Patrick Swayze was not a good cowboy, no. He was good in Roadhouse, though. Aaron says, Sue? Hold on. You making anything cool? I think he's asking, are you sewing any cool costumes currently? Patty says, Clint rocks all the ladies' hearts. Agreed. You just gotta ask yourself a question. Do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? I like Clint Eastwood. My father looked like Clint Eastwood. I didn't get that gene.
The Road to Wellville. It has Anthony Hopkins, Matthew Broderick, Bridget Fonda, John Cusack, Dana Carvey, and Laura Flynn.
Sounds good. I like everybody that's in it.
It's about a sanitarium. Anthony Hopkins opens a sanitarium.
Sanatorium.
Sanitarium. Promotes his possessive and eccentric ideas about optimal well-being.
Amy says John H., a.k.a. Nugget, went to bed, Sue. Aaron says he's a cool dude. Yeah, man. Sue says, Aaron, I'm working on a 16th century working woman's clothes. Pants and a blouse?
Working woman would be a mini skirt and fishnet stockings.
Yeah, I know, I was teasing. What it is says, you rang. You rang. I can't get that low right now. You rang. I can't do it. You rang. Aaron says, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's the one. The other one. The good, the bad, the ugly, Fistful of Dollars, Unforgiven. That's the trilogy you want to watch. It's delicious. Aaron says, Sue, I want to see what it is says. What's up, Lurch? I like The Thing and Cousin It. I identify with Cousin It. Amy says, Clint Eastwood versus Chuck Norris. Who wins? That's easy. Chuck Norris. Patty says, make my day. Aaron says, Gran Torino was great. It was a good movie. Every movie he's ever done's been good. That last one he made was a little rough to watch. It was a little slow. By the time he's like 90. But it was still good. Patty says, The Mule. And Sue says, there's a restaurant here called Tarantino's. Yep. Because it probably belongs to Quentin Tarantino. You'll probably never see him there, but he probably owns it. There's a movie theater somewhere that he owns. I don't know if it's in Vegas or in L.A., but I think it's in L.A. Aaron says, Patty, I haven't seen Mule yet. And Patty says, even at freaking 90 years old, right? Yeah, Clint Eastwood is definitely the man. Aaron says, that car is badass, though. The Gran Torino in Torino. Or Gran Torino. Amanda says,
I see a mule every day.
you watch your mouth. Linda Davis is here. She says, hey, everybody in chat. Hi, Linda. How are you, sweet lady? We're just talking movies and nonsense.
Hi, Linda, hun.
Sanitarium bangs her head 80 style. Patty says, Mule is great. It's a good movie for sure. Amanda?
Hi, Linda, hun. I already did it once.
I didn't hear you. Amy says, hey, Linda. And the cookie lady is here. Hi, Linda. Aaron says, Tiny Mule. I pictured Jake's voice. You caught what she was laying down. Sue says, who wants $1,000? Me. I'd settle for 50. Take what I can get these days. Why, you paying? What you want? Who you want killed? Amanda says,
LOL, right, Aaron?
Amy says, depends on what I have to do for it, Sue. That I don't have such afflictions. I'll do it. Aaron says, what are the terms of combat between the two? Of Clint Eastwood and Chuck Norris? It doesn't matter. Chuck Norris will part his beard and a tiny fist will punch him. Amy says, hopefully I'll win the Powerball, and if I hit the $1 billion grand prize, Jake gets a new studio. Oh, nice. I appreciate that. But I'll dream about that while you're dreaming about hitting the Powerball. And Sue says, Amy, you have to call up your long-lost relative, the Prince of Nigeria. Yeah, don't fall for that one. What it is says, Lawless was a good movie. Yeah, it was. Aaron says, think of an idea for Amy's 1,000. Amy says, I'll pass, Sue. And Aaron says, Lawless was epic. And what it is says, the cookie lady. Yeah, she makes good cookies. Aaron says, Linda's a baking champ. And what it is says, you did what for how many cookies? Batshit Crazy's here. What's up, Batshit? Long time no see, brother. How you doing? Amy says hi.
Hi, Bats.
Well, I do declare, I think I'm at the bottom of the chat finally.
And it's only 10 o'clock.
Sue says, I'm here to ruin your day. No, you're not. You're here to make my day special. That's how I feel about you being here anyway. Aaron says, I'm thinking about the bread. I'm thinking about the bread. Linda says, nope, you got it backwards. What would you do for how many cookies? But I would do just about anything for a Klondike bar, so cookies is up there on my list. Aaron says, bread. I got it. I figured it out thanks to Jamie. Batshit Crazy says, hi back, folks. Nice to see you. Amy says, I have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice while riding a dolphin that gets attacked by ninja penguins than winning the lottery, but you never know. Well, God is good, and if he thinks I'll get a new studio out of it, it's possible. I doubt it. I wouldn't ask you for anything unless you wanted to give it. Aaron says, well, what do you want? I like some cookies. What it is says, I know the alphabet. I know the alphabet and how we got the word alphabet. How about that?
I'm just going to sit back and watch the things that Jake will do for a Klondike bar.
Jake has no shame.
This is a fact.
Do it backwards. ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕊𝕥𝕣𝕖. ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝. It sounds like Klingon backwards. ℂ𝕙𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝. Why would I want to say the alphabet backwards? That didn't make any sense. Linda Davis says, make me an offer, LOL. Make me an offer. Sue says, don't do anything stupid. Oh, no. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, believe me. What it is says, Jake would walk around the house in a pink tutu. Buddy, I would go to town and watch a movie in a pink tutu. Aaron says, Amy riding dolphins. Jeez, my mind. Amy says, ZYXWU. Well, ZYXWU too. Sue says, I can say the alphabet backwards. So can I. Tebaplach it. See? Aaron says, I will offer you unlimited hugs for 3 wishes. Nah, you ain't getting me on that joke. I know the trick. What it is says, with or without BVDs. What's a BVD?
Underwear.
Oh. Without? You're talking to a guy that did a show in front of 300 people in nothing but a sheet. Nothing. At all. Not even socks. With lighting. A sheet with lighting. You know what happens when you shine a bright, bright light through sheet? You can see through it. And Sue says, Amy, you skipped V. And Amy says, TSRQPONML. Amy says, I did. And Sue says, I can say the alphabet in Spanish, French, Greek, and Hebrew too. Me too. The alphabet. All 4 languages. The alphabet. The alphabet. The alphabet. The alphabet. There you go. Batshit Crazy says, unsure of wording, but just buy more lottery tickets without multiplier unless, say, 4 million is chump change. Better odds. I think what you're trying to say is if you triple up on the purchases of tickets, you stand a better chance of winning. That's true, but I think the Powerball is the game you play where you pick a bunch of numbers and then you see if they hit. I don't think there's a way to increase the odds on that game. Aaron says, I'll bring the Dolphins if she makes the waves. Ooh. What it is says the donkey was hanging. And Amy says KJIHGFEDCBA. V. Amanda says.
Oh, damn, Aaron.
Amy says they don't teach kids the LMNOP part of the alphabet song anymore. That's the best part. Yeah, they teach them LNMOP or LMNOP. I don't know why they have to overcomplicate things. We all learned LMNOP and we all understand it's LMNOP. And isn't a letter. Aaron says, Amanda, every now and then I can be smooth. I like it when you're smooth. But when you put it, when you're smooth, that's when you're doing something. I'm smooth. You might be smooth, but I'm smooth. That's SMOOVE. Smooth. Amanda says.
I see, Aaron.
And what it is says LBGTQ. What is that? A new video game where you ride around beating up hookers? Batshit Crazy says, what did Fogg say to the hunter? I missed. So did the hunter. Patty says, Aaron, where are you from? Which state? Aaron says, Amy, that's because they're confusing them about the P part They don't know if they sit or stand. Some of them are teaching them you can do both. I know. Amy says, "Eeh." And Debbie says, 𝕂𝕠𝕂𝕗𝑟𝑠𝑡. What happened to the P? It's running down my leg. I thought you were a victim of one of those hypnotists that took the letter out of your alphabet. No, that's a Maury Povich burn. Oh, that's a Montel Williams burn. Oh, that's a Jerry Springer burn. Which owe it all to Oprah Winfrey. Aaron says, LOL, Debbie and Patty, I'm in Florida. I think she was asking, where are you from? Not where are you currently.
I think he's from Illinois, Chicago
New
area.
York City. I think he's from Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, Illinois, Chicago area.
Amy says, smiley face. And Sue says, she drinks tequila and he talks dirty in Spanish. He wears sombreros. She wears a dirty red bandana. What it is, how do you feel? I don't understand the question. How do you feel like a hair on a frog split 3 ways? That's pretty fine. Right? I feel like Miss Piggy on a prom date.
I feel with my hands.
Patty says, okay. Cowabunga. Amy says, last part of my night, locking the doors. Last part of my night is checking my eyelids for damage. What it is says, Chi-Town. Chirac, baby. Aaron says, I move silently around, though. Well, you could move and make noise. I don't think anybody cares if you're moving. Sue says, smiley, smiley, smiley. And what it is says, I feel with my fingers. I feel with my mind. With that telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
Amy says, I feel with my heart. Ew, gross. Put that thing back in your chest. Wipe that blood up. Sue says, I feel with my tongue. Hey. Debbie says, I don't feel. Yes, you do. Come here, baby. Let me talk to you a minute. Inconceivable, says Amy. 2 people in here will get that. And one of them will only get it because I just showed it to her. Aaron says, I'm from Chi-Town. All at times, I'm everywhere. I could just walk up and grab a seat next to people. You grab my seat and I'm going to know you're there. And I might like it. What it is says, you won't be silent when you stub your toe on the door jamb.
No, the worst is stubbing your toe on a laundry basket.
Amy says, silent but deadly, like a fart in the night. Aaron says, I'm from 55 and Raquin in Chicago, Patty. The South Side. I don't know how you do that. And Debbie says, okay, I felt that. Sue says, my feet are cold. Put socks on. Patty says, that was a great video with Lori and Sammy, but they took it off and just left the music with no video. I don't know what you're talking about, Patty. Are you talking about the Princess Bride in some way? Who's Lori and Sammy? What it is that smells like a gut wagon.
Lori Morgan and Sammy Kershaw?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I got it now. Yeah, that's a good song. They took the video that why? Because it's woke or something? Or because of wokeness? Aaron says, facts, Patty. Been there, Aaron says, Patty. I drove through Chicago one time, like I was on the interstate so I could look down and see it, like down the road. I had no desire to go that way into Chicago. It looked like a war zone over there, and I was going by. So that's as close as I ever got to Chicago. About that time, old Willie Lyons walked in. What it is I got the hat and the t-shirt from Chicago. I hear you. Sue says, I felt that way about Denver. I've never been to Denver either. Amy says, Gary, Indiana is just as bad as Chicago. Gary, Indiana. Phoenix, Arizona. Pittsburgh, North Dakota. I can't even say it now.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bismarck, North Dakota. New York, L.A., London, Tampa Bay, Houston, Tokyo. Anywhere you go. Aaron says, I'll be honored to sit next to you, Jake. Thank you, buddy. I'd be honored for you to sit next to me, too. Aaron says, Patty, you been there? Why? Why did you go to Chicago? Amy says, how's April doing? I don't know. The last time I talked to her was Wednesday. She seemed to be going through some medical stuff with her mom, and she's going through some living stuff with herself. I'm not real sure. Had to wait till I hear from her again, see how things pan out.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from her. She doesn't answer me.
Don't feel bad. She don't answer me either. It ain't personal.
Oh, I know.
Sue says, ask me. Sue? Ask you what? Why did you feel that way about Denver? Amy says, I've been praying for her. Thank you, Amy. She needs it. She's in a situation.
Yep, she's in a pretty wild pickle.
I wish I was closer. I'd look out for her, but she's out of my reach and doesn't really want to be looked out for.
She's talking about getting out of Florida, coming up here.
What it is says, Jake, have ever smacked your thumb with a hammer? Oh, yeah. Many, many times. I ran over that thumb with a skill saw one time. Jumped right over the bone. I got lucky I didn't cut it off. I just stitched it back together and put some duct tape around it and kept working. But as far as hitting my thumb with a hammer, I've hit all of my fingers with a hammer. Many times. Split the ends of them open, banging them with a hammer. I started my life as a roofer. So, yeah. Aaron says, Amy, it's close. Amy says she's got a lot on her plate. Yes, she does. Sue says, I'm waiting for my partner to bring home my sandwich. What kind of partner do you have? The business kind or the life kind? By saying partner, are you making an inference? Amy says, make me a sandwich. Sue's version of bring me home a sandwich. I like it. What it is says, in crime. What are you talking about? What it is?
Partner in crime.
Oh, partner in crime. I got you. Aaron says, Amy, she's like an hour away from me, and I've tried to get out there, but she, well, yeah, she doesn't want you to go out there. She's a very cagey person.
And she's an airhead.
Life kind, says Sue. Ah.
And I mean that in a totally loving way, but April is totally an airhead.
Sue says, and yes, what it is in crime. What it is says, come on, Jake, get it together. What am I getting together, buddy?
You can't remember nothing tonight.
I can't remember nothing half the time. I suffer from CRS.
Oh,
I can't remember what that stands for, but it's something to do with my brain not working.
OCRS.
Yeah. Aaron says, makes Amy a sandwich. Sue says, well, we're life partners in crime. And Amy says, Sue's partner, he's a poker player. Brings home a bunch of sandwiches. Ah. And I'm guessing by the use of the word partner, you're not married or he's liberal. Patty says, we flew my son and I to see the Bulls and Indiana Pacers play, and my son has relatives in Hodgkins, Illinois. All right. How was the game? What it is says, it puts the lotion on the skin.
Till it gets the hose again.
Or it gets the hose again. Aaron says, oh yeah, I remember. We talked about that. And Sue says, not officially married. Ah, I got you. Partner. Okay. Most people use that word when they're talking about a same-sex marriage. That's the reason I was asking. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Sue. Patty says, I think spelt the town wrong. That's okay. I probably pronounced it wrong, so we're good. You just got too many N's, that's all. Amy says, go Pacers. Yes, sirs. The yesers. Aaron says, how's your bird, Sue? Well, the bird says the bird is a word. Yeah, the bird says the bird is a word.
Thanks. Now that's going to be stuck in my head.
Aaron says, it's okay. What the blank Chi-Town won't mind. It's okay. I have no desire to go north for any reason whatsoever. I am going to stay right here. If I want to see anything up there, I'll look it up on the internet. Google knows, right, Fab Daddy? Google would never lie to you. Patty says the town is near Hinsdale, I do believe. Maybe. Aaron says Hinsdale is bad now. What it is says, Doyle? What's Doyle? What's the number for your call for the ambulance? 911, you freaking idiot. I guess the number for 911? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kill somebody. Some folks call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. Mm-hmm. All right, then.
Love that movie.
Sue says, who knows? Maybe we are. Could be. Amy says, well, we lost the championship. First time in 25 years we made it to the finals. Well, they did. I didn't play. I hear you. Linda says, yes, you do, Jake. You and Amanda are coming to see me. Ah, well, I might do that. I might do that. I mean, north in general, like to New York or whatever. I don't care anything about going up to those places. I might come to see you, but I won't be going to any of your towns. Sue says, Aaron, she is being very loud. The bird. The bird is the word. Patty says, well, I would never live above the Tennessee line. Aaron says, can she talk? The bird. The word bird. That is the word. Yep. What it is, get some culture, Jake. I have culture, buddy. I'm dripping out the ears with culture. That's why I don't want to go there, because I don't need anything they have to offer. Sue says, yes, Aaron, the bird can talk. Cool, what words? English, mostly. Get some culture. Who are you talking to? I'm very cultured. I'm like boarding school cultured. I just don't act that way. Sue says she knows my name, too. Nice. What it is says some Yankee culture. Not for me, thank you. Aaron says, LOL, Sue. Amy says she can dance, Sue's bird. I think Sue's bird is a very interesting creature.
I want one.
I want a raven. Those birds interest me. Sue says her name, hi, I love you, what are you doing, etc. And Amy says she's either saying your name or wanting to file a case. Could be that. She might be trying to get a lawsuit going. Well, all right. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm turning into a pumpkin. My feet are already turning into vines, so I'm going to go to bed now and, do that thing they call sleep. Linda says, my town and the surrounding areas has less than 3,000 people. It's not much of a town. Well, that's the kind of place I'd like to be if I'm going north. Exactly. I don't have any desire to get enthralled in anything that's going on up there. Although I don't know anything about Pennsylvania, it might be fine. My idea is like New York and Chicago and, the Bronx and all of that stuff. I don't care anything about all that. What it is I got a bird. Sometimes I have to beat bird.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days, what it is? Aaron says they had a bird yelling help and screaming. They called the police, and the lady had to show them it was a bird, and it learned it from horror movies. It was viral.
I saw that.
I've heard of stories like that.
There's another one where the guy was working on his car, and his bird was sitting out there screaming help and let me go or something, and somebody called the cops on him, and they come up and checked on him.
Right. Amy says, see y'all tomorrow night. I'm working, but I'll try to make it. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. And we're talking about Indians, not water. Because if they do, you're in trouble. What it is says, night-night, Jake and Amanda. Night-night, what it is? Amanda says.
Night what it is. And night, y'all. See you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Politics. Much love, y'all.
Rock on with your bad self. Aaron says, what the blank? Choking a chicken don't count. Is that what they call beating a bird, choking a chicken, that sort of thing? Linda says, good night all. Love to all. Linda, sorry we didn't talk much, honey. You were so quiet over there, I almost forgot you were here. But I love you, and I will see you tomorrow, and I will be much more rested then and much more on my game.
Maybe.
Maybe. Amy says, I saw that video, Amanda. That's the one I was thinking of.
Which video, Amy?
The bird screaming.
Oh.
You know, the one you just mentioned?
Yes.
That one. Monkey Juice. How are we going to stop school shootings? Well, we could make schools illegal, Monkey Juice. I think that would be a good way to start fixing that problem, don't you think?
Hi, Monkey.
The parrot screaming for help, says Amy. Yeah, we could either make schools illegal, or we could, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it can be stopped. It seems like an epidemic, doesn't it? Monkey says, yep, that works. Right on. Linda says, arm the teachers. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, if you take 5 teachers and don't tell anybody who they are, make it a secret, send them to training and have them go through the steps of becoming a skilled marksman. And then at any given time, those teachers are armed on campus, put up signs everywhere so that everybody knows that there are 5 or more armed teachers at any given time on campus. Nobody will shoot the place up. You know why? Because they do that because they think they can get away with it. The funny thing about shooters is they don't want to be shooted back. Amy says, long time no see, Monkey Juice. And Debbie says, a Jake and Amanda spat, angry makeup sex. A great start to the weekend. Right on? I'm with you there. Aaron says, Monkey Juice, I have to say sorry to you. Why? And Amy says, eliminate gun-free zones. Right. That's the problem right there. You notice that those things only happen in gun-free zones. They don't happen where everybody's armed. And Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. No spat. Just angry makeup sex. Debbie says, end all the no child left behind laws and the schools will get better. I agree. And Patty says, thanks, Miss Amanda and Jake, for the company. Thank you for the company.
Thank you, Miss Patty. Night-night.
And Monkey Juice says, legitimate question to Aaron. And Amanda says, night, Patty. Aaron says, for the accident last time. Ah, was that Monkey Juice that happened to?
Yes.
Ah, apologies. And Sue says, soft targets. Yes. And Aaron says, I apologize. Thank you, Aaron. Monkey Juice, you're always welcome. All right. Monkey Juice says, this has been going on for 20 years. No answer. There's no answer because they're Democrat-run cities and they will not fix the problem. That's why there's no answers. It could be fixed tomorrow. Like that. As soon as people wake up and start realizing that they're the problem, then they'll fix it. But until then, it won't get fixed. Monkey Juice says, bullshit. Well, you know, until you try it, you won't know, will you?
And, I mean, you got to do better attention to who's getting hold of guns, especially ones that want to transform their body and then be mad about it and try to take it out on innocent people.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Aaron says, my kid's mom is a teacher. It's scary. It is scary. But listen, every time one of those things happens, there is a common thread.
I mean, there was just another one today or yesterday where the same thing, somebody transgender killed a 56-year-old man after he dropped his 6-year-old daughter off at school. For what reason? None.
Amy says, stop affirming mental illness is a good start. Start teaching children that there are consequences for their actions. Stop teaching them that they are an accident, a cosmic accident, that they have no value above dirt or common animals. Start teaching them that they're valuable living souls that have a purpose on this earth, so that when they're developing minds or forming ideas, they have that in the back of it, instead of they're worthless and this is all there is. How about that? That's a good start.
And they're trapped in the wrong body.
Of course, they don't care about consequences. They don't believe there are any because of people teaching them nonsense. That's why. You know, there's a whole bunch of kids that don't do that sort of thing. Bunch of them. They're usually the ones on the other end of it, by the way. Peaceful, law-abiding, loving children end up on the wrong end. How come we ain't talking about what they're doing right?
Well, the one yesterday was, yeah, absolutely, Monkey Juice.
It's always been that kind of an issue, Monkey Juice. Always. There's always been a common thread to all of this. They've gone to great lengths to hide it, but look around. You'll see it. It's there. That's right, Sue. Love your body. God made you the way for a reason. That way for a reason. Right. Amy says, make God a priority again is a good start. Yep. All of this can be talked about tomorrow night on Politics. Come see me tomorrow night and we'll get into it heavy, okay, Monkey Juice? Tonight I'm out of gas. I'll have much better arguments for you tomorrow night. And I'll give you the receipts.
Good night, Untethered Live family.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves and each other. And while you're out there, be nice. You know, don't go around shooting people. Be happy. Thank God for every day you have. Look in the mirror and realize that you're here for a reason and you're special. And that in all the universe, there's only one of you that makes you a rare commodity, valuable and rare. Do that. That's a start. Need gas, eat beans, says Amy. Right on. And Debbie says, it's okay to be an effeminate male, and it's okay to be a masculine female. Living as someone you are not is a mental illness, correct? And it is a mental illness, and there's nowhere for those people to go because they've been told that they're normal. They're better than normal. They're the norm. That's the problem. Amy says, love y'all. And exactly, Debbie. Exactly. All right. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Politics. Be there and bring your Wheaties. Good night. Thanks for watching.